What is it about those moments that we can address and hopefully move forward?
The fear of the emancipation of blacks, for example, by the 1920s, had created a Ku Klux Klan that was so much more dominant than we realized. Describe the Klan, you talk about it in your book.
And immigration. There was fear of immigrants, there was fear of blacks, fears of Jews, virulent anti-Catholic prejudice because of the immigration issue. 3 to 5 million Americans were members of the Klan from 1915 to about 1927. 50,000 Klansmen marched down Pennsylvania Avenue in 1925 without their masks. The governors of Oregon, Colorado, Texas, Georgia were members of the Klan. It was all about economic transition, uncertainty, a fear of the other, that somehow or another people that did not look like us or sound like us, meaning white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, were going to take those jobs, take over the country. We have been in these moments of transition before, and ultimately, usually with presidential leadership on the good side as opposed to the exacerbating side, we've come through.
You talked about how fear is often the facilitating factor here. When you get scared, you get nervous, it's easy to lash out.
Right.
And you talk in your book about a case, in some ways the most heartbreaking case, because it's about a good man who did a bad thing, Franklin Roosevelt and the internment of the Japanese Americans.
It's early 1942. Pearl Harbor has happened. The Attorney General of California, a man named Earl Warren, some people speculate that the Brown decision was in some ways an act of atonement, recommends the internment, not of foreign nationals, of American citizens.
Right. These are Japanese Americans.
Americans, right. Americans. Roosevelt caved to that. I think we have to judge people on the totality of their lives. Roosevelt is a complicated figure, in many ways represents these competing impulses of kindness and cruelty and grace and rage, as most of our great leaders have. And my argument is not, we've been here before, so it's going to be fine. It's that we've been here before, how did we get through it? And one essential element, one common denominator, is that the people themselves were relentless in saying, this is not who we want to be. We may be who we are sometimes, but we don't want to be that. And if we can get to 51% for our better angels, that's a pretty good day.
Talk about, though, what is the process as you see it of sort of